do you believe that people only respect when you show power?
It's a tough one.
And the reason where this came from, you remember Lex. Lex was really welding that power around to make people start looking at him when he was sitting with the council and making, oh, we need to get rid of this, and here's why. He showed his power, showed what he can do, and then you saw that other people, because of his power and respect, and he went to get the information needed. Spoiler alert, sorry.
Let me say this. So this is an interesting thing about Lex Luthor, right? What's the question again? One more time, real quick.
Do you believe people only show you respect when you're wielding your power?
I don't believe so. In Lex Luthor's case, the reason why I don't believe so, him wielding power was literally out of insecurity. His mannerisms, the way he moved, the way he spoke, you can sense the deep insecurity within himself. So he feels the need to see that a man is an embodiment of living a righteous life and doing right and trying to being that symbol of hope for humanity. And he thinks that he's being someone who's egotistical. All that really mirrors is that you're insecure within your own self to hate the light in someone else.
I do believe, though. I do believe it. I hear what you're saying, but I do believe people only respect you when you show power. Whether it's good power or bad power, I feel like people, when I say good power, you're doing good, blah, blah, blah. You want to be Martin Luther King, you want to be Superman, you want to be Fantastic Four, you're showing goodness. Or you want to be Lex Luthor, you're showing that negative thing. People only respect that. They don't really respect the average person. Go ahead.
I don't think that it's that they respect it. I think they fear it. I think it's fair. I think it's still respect. You're right. It's still respect, but it's respect out of fear.
But isn't
that I can
fear
be next.
the cousin of respect?
Huh?
I'd rather be fair than
You'd rather be fair than respect?
Yeah, I think sometimes, I would rather be fair than respected. I would love to be respected like Superman. But if I had to choose one, like either one or the other, I'd rather be fair. What about you, my brother?
I think respect feels more safe, unfortunately. But in terms of your question, I think that people respect you. Put it to you like this. If you live by the sword, people will respect your sword. If you live by the word, people will respect your word, however you live by it. If you live by a good word, people will respect you in that manner. If you live by a bad word, people are going to take you for that. And hey, I respect him. At least he's who he is. He's bad. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, people are going to choose whether they're going to respect you or not. They're going to lie to your face or not. But do the best you can.
But did you answer the question though?
How did you feel with how would you relate this with Lex or Superman? Do you believe?
I'll link it a bit better.
Yeah.
So people respect Lex because he demands respect. He demands respect through his actions and his power. They respect Superman not through his power, but through his will and his intentions and his actions. That's why I'm like, people will respect you based off of the sword that you pick up. If you pick up the sword of integrity, then they'll respect you on that.
What I see what you're getting at is that I believe everyone has some kind of power to some degree, whatever it may be, small, minuscule, medium, or large, whatever it is. If you embody that and you hone that and you are about that, yes, I do agree. People will see you for that. They will see that light in you for that.
It's because it's funny, and this is where the next question comes in. Why is it that people will love and respect Superman, but they don't respect the nice guy until they put on the cape? You get ignored.
It could be an ego thing. I think it's a status thing. I think people want to be like, oh, it's status, and oh, he's a superhero. Oh, he's a rapper, or oh, she's an Olympic medalist. Like, you know, people they love to aspire to like those great things, you know, celebrity type stuff, you know, like, and that's what I think it is. I think it's more of the aesthetics and more of like, it's more carnal. I just say it's more carnal. That's what it is.
I'll lean into that lane as well too.
Yes,
I think
please.
it's definitely a sort of like idealized version. Like they idolize him as sort of greater than themselves. So they see him sort of like a vicarious version of, wouldn't it be great to be that? So they honor it. They praise it. That's why. But the average person, your Clark Kent, you know, they're the ones that really make society go, because it's like as powerful and as all powerful as Superman is, Superman can't make society function. He can't be the person putting the fries in your bag and the person bagging your groceries.
The person paving the roads.
He can't do all that at the same time. But the regular everyday citizen can. We just don't appreciate that because we don't see that as super. We don't see cooperation and kindness and integrity as super. We see that as mundane and normal.
And monotonous.
That's why we don't respect them.
But the funny thing is that most of the time, people want to get caught up in the glitz and the glamour, and not everything that glitters is gold, but too at the same time is like, okay, well, you can still give respect to this person too as well, though, but it's idolizing.
And I do feel like, and then I'll let you get your answer.
No.
I do feel that we talked about this, and I mentioned this before. I'll take it a little bit into my IRL in this experience. In my therapy sessions, I've said that sometimes I wish that people could look into my life and see how hard it actually is to be nice, how hard it actually is to be kind, to be forgiving, to have mercy. Superman isn't strong because he has superpowers. He's strong because he has power, but he chooses to do the hard thing and not abuse those powers.
Right.
That's what makes him super. And like, yeah, and people appreciate the fact that, he can do all this other stuff, but it's not really Superman that's doing all these things. It's Clark Kent, the person that has the superpowers, and he's like, y'all don't see what I could be doing. I could be ruling over y'all like my family told me I should be doing, but I'm not going to. And then to the previous question, it's like they're not going to respect Clark Kent because they don't see that in him, but they'll respect Superman because he's the threat and he has the problem. The powers, not the problem.
And they'll still drag him through the mud.
Yep.
They will drag him through the
And
mud.
that's why Lex Luthor always wins. Now, I'm just joking. Let's run that third.
He wins in a
second.
second. He wins in a...
No.
If I'm to save the world, your existence must come to an end before you take office.
You're going to kill me so that Superman can't.
I'm a well-known crackpot. The Justice League's reputation will survive my actions, and Superman's legacy will remain intact.
Interesting plan. Unfortunately for you, it's not really an option. President. Foolish, faceless man. My campaign is a farce. A small part of a much grander scheme. President. Do you know how much power I'd have to give up to be president? That's right, conspiracy buff. I spent $75 million on a fake presidential campaign. All just to tick Superman off.
Yeah, so I know this wasn't in the movie, but this shows a little bit of backdrop of who Lex really is. And once you can understand the character, you can understand where we're coming with this next question.
Please.
So, my brother, why do we glorify people like Lex Luthor in real life?
Let me go off on this on a quick tangent. I've talked about this behind the scenes, and I'll say it openly here. I do believe that some people, or most people, are sheep. I think that most people, they want to follow somebody that is all powerful and all smart and has all the answers, and they want to follow behind them because they seem like they're the winner. People like Lex get away with doing these things because people give them the power to do these things. I think that people go behind Lex because he's so sure of himself. He's confident. Look, just look at this. He said, I wasted $75 million for a fake presidential campaign just to piss him off.
Can you give me a example from the movie?
From the movie? So what's one thing that happened in the movie? Lex Luthor, what's one? I can't think of one right now.
Oh, it's okay.
That got me on the fly.
No problem.
But what I will say to your question is that people, in the movie, you mean, I see, to the question, yeah, literally everybody that works in LexCorp, everybody in LexCorp that works for him knows that he's a villain. Everybody in the building. And they're like, yeah, we just gonna kill Superman today because Lex says so. Why not? You wanna get this check, right? Lex built a super collider that can destroy the planet. But no, he got the answers. No, it's okay. He knows what he's doing. It's fine, right?
Yeah, they glorify this evil man who has a basically in between the worlds, in between layer.
What he did, he created like a tear in the
dimensions.
universe.
In dimensions, and was keeping people who went against him.
There was only one guy that objected to him.
One guy. And I'm just like, of course people are gonna follow him because at the end of the day, he gives the average person that supports him an excuse to turn a blind eye to bad things. Because it's like, well, Lex said so it's okay, he's smart.
Or we might glorify because, like, we have hindsight to know that it's bad, but he might be looking like he's doing greater good. Oh, we're gonna create meta-humans, right? To help with the wars and different things. And so you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's doing great.
We're very political coded right now, aren't we? We're very political coded. I don't know if it came across yet.
But yeah, you could see all the good, like, to the average person, he's probably a great philanthropist, right?
He probably gives to charity.
Probably does all these things. So we don't get to see the true evil nature of him, but Superman does. But we glorify this because everybody wants money. Everybody knows that money comes with power. And what does the song say? First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect.
Women. I was gonna.
Money, power, respect.
I was talking about it with.
What about you, DeJounte?
I think honestly, they all know that he's evil.
They all do.
They all do know that he's evil.
You think so?
I think so.
I think so. They know exactly what they're
he
doing.
does have that.
How could they not if
They're
they know
literally
Superman's
they're literally
That's
in the
true.
operations room giving what was it? He's not Bizarro, is he?
That would be bizarre. That would
It's
definitely
kind of
be.
like their version of Bizarro,
They
right?
call him Ultraman, but it's Bizarro.
It's like the clone version of Superman, like giving him like upper hand, left, right uppercut type stuff because he's been studying for how many years? These people know full well what they're doing, and they bought into it. You know what I'm saying? So,
But how could you not when, once again, Lex is all powerful. The man built a super collider on an island in a tent. So granted, yes, he does seem smart, but just because he's smart once doesn't mean that he's right.
Ooh,
it's just all what he's wielding it for, and we all know it's his obsession with Superman.
so speaking of Superman, right?
But
Go ahead.
But I also will say, to a degree, I could kind of side with him. Because to him, Superman is an alien. He's a foreign entity. So he's like, I'm out of my subconscious sphere. I got to keep tabs on this guy because he may just, I mean, call it what you like.
Okay, I see what you're
He may
getting
be the Batman to Superman, but, you know, in
You
a
see the
more
humanity.
evil sense. You know, this is my contingency plan. But go ahead.
Fair enough.
So you were speaking of Superman, right? So the pressures of also being Superman was shown throughout this whole movie, right? Can we relate it to us now? Do men feel like they can't show weakness? Now, even when we break down inside, right? You see Superman had the weight of the world on him, literally. Why men get told man up and not speak up?
Are we ushering a clip for this? No. Okay.
Bearing a weight, I'll put it to you like this. I'll put a still in right now, but you can see it's from a story called Heroes in Crisis, and it's when the superheroes go into therapy and they speak about their stuff. One of the problems with Superman that you see, and I'll post it, let you guys take a look at it real quick. Basically, the problem is that Superman, even himself, feels like he can't be vulnerable because if he doesn't, if people see that there's nothing so super about being Superman, then they won't have faith in him anymore. They'll panic, they'll be fearful. There's a responsibility of being a Superman and being Superman too. For the average man, literally, there's a responsibility that you feel being a Superman to the people that rely on you, don't you?
Of course.
Do you ever feel like...
To that point, at the same time, he was vulnerable in two pivotal moments, which was before his name was dragged through the mud when he did the interview with Lois Lane. And he was also vulnerable as well after his name was dragged through the mud. So it may not be to the people out there, but it still was to someone that mattered to him. And he was able to show and be like, yo, this is the weight that I bear on me. This is what I'm undergoing right now.
And that's the problem right there. He expressed himself to Lois. He saw how Lois acted. Instead of hearing him, and he was like, you got to say off the record. Like, she treated it so professional. And I get it. She had to. It's an interview. But he's trying to express himself. And in his expressing, you see the vulnerability. And she's just like.
But that comes from being vulnerable. Yeah,
And that's where the weakness.
And that's fine. But as we see to it, they were able to work it out still, because it's not going to be perfect. When you being vulnerable, you open out, things may go awry and stuff like that. But they were still able to work it out.
I believe, and guys, you can correct me, and you can correct me. They only worked it out because he's Superman. She didn't want to let go. Superman. No, I really believe.
Are you gonna say that's Super D?
Nah, he was giving her Clark Kent. He couldn't give her Super D. But I believe that though.
I'll give you some
Strongly.
credit. You can say you can mid-toe in and say that she only liked it because he's Superman, or you can take it another route and say that she only went that route because he is a Superman and she had something to believe in.
Boss, I agree with you.
It could go both ways.
And when he said, I love you, didn't say anything until he had the cape on. I swear, bro, look at the movie. She didn't say, I love you back until he was Superman.
Yo, Micaiah Tate
know
over
what?
here.
No,
Micaiah Tate.
I took it there. I took it there
what?
and watched the movie. You guys will
Micaiah
see for
Tate.
yourself. Write it in the comments and see if I'm lying. It wasn't until they were flying. And he's kissing. I love you. Dogs.
Micaiah
You
Tate.
know what? I'm not gonna lie. You kind of put the
DeJounte Tate.
I'm not. You made a good point,
Right?
I just now realized. Yeah, she did only like make up and stuff until after the fact that he threw on the cape.
Exactly. That's when she said it. And before that, she was saying, that's why I'm not good with relationships. But then the cape come on. Oh, baby.
Oh man, you ain't nothing. You try to cancel Lois Lane in the chat.